1, 2, check, check. Should be hearing me now. 1, 2, check, check. Sounds like we're live. We're going in the air. 3, 2, and 1. There we go. All right, we're live. I think you guys can hear me. I have no way of monitoring the sound at the moment, but I'm seeing the levels. So if somebody in the chat could just tell me if it's too loud, if it's too quiet, if it needs a little more sound, I can increase it. Otherwise, I'll start with the levels I got. 1, 2, 1, 2, check, 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 check. 1, 2, 1, 2, check. Let's see. Let me see. Let me try it on my phone. Yeah, it sounds like we're good. All right, I got a confirmation. Perfect. So welcome. This is the first time ever, well, second time for me, but first time doing a build in the office, and I'll be doing multicam. So I have 3 cameras set up. They're all PTZ. So I'll be controlling it from this control surface here with the joystick. And I'll also be controlling the audio board remotely and the video mixer from this Microsoft Surface. So we have a couple of control items here, and then the rest of the stuff is what we're going to be building today. So it's a pretty decent build. There's not a lot of parts available at the moment. Black Friday and all the holiday shopping, everyone's scrambling to buy computer parts. I guess that's the new thing, staying at home. So I was able to find all these parts, and most of them were the last ones on in Micro Center. And these are all from locally, Micro Center. I had to go to 2 of them to find some of them. So the big one is this ThreadRipper Ryzen, and it's 24 cores, 4.5 gigahertz. So it's a 3960X. So this is the big one we'll be assembling today. It's a great processor. We've assembled one like this before for a 3D render machine, and this one will be going for a video editing machine. So these are awesome processors, 24 cores. That's huge amount of processing power. We also got the motherboard is the Asus, I don't know how to say it, Zenith 2 Extreme. The reason I went with this one is got 10 gigabit Ethernet, so we don't need to get a network adapter for it to be able to use the in-house 10 gigabit network to connect to our video server. So that's great. So they're including that in a lot of motherboards nowadays. So you get 2 jacks in the back, one for regular gigabit Ethernet, which is what you use at home, and then the 10 gigabit Ethernet, which is what you probably be using in a higher end environment. So the main hard drive will be a solid state. It's the Samsung 980 Pro. And this one is the 4th generation of this type of NVMe hard drive. I believe the speed, and I looked at it, I gotta check again, it's 7,000 megabits per second. I don't know if it says it on here, but that is incredibly fast. Yeah, it does not say on the case. Oh yeah, it does say 7,000 megabytes actually. Yeah, megabits. There's a big difference between the 2 of them, but it's capital letters, so it's megabytes. 7,000 megabytes per second. So 1 terabyte of that for running Windows, running all the Adobe apps and all the other plugins and stuff. And then for memory, we got 64 gigs of DDR4, 3200 speed, and then a secondary hard drive is a 4 terabyte 870 QVO, and I went with this one because it had a longer read and write performance over time. So this will be mainly used for cache and storing some local files when needing to edit. Most of our files are on the server, so we don't need a lot of space on the machines themselves, but you need some decent amount of cache for After Effects and Premiere to read and write to. Then the liquid cooler, we were able to only find this one. This is the only one that can fit this type of, and yeah, the green screen is going to be freaking out because of all the shiny stuff. That's fine. I won't be having all this stuff in the package soon. But yeah, this is the only cooler that I can find that could fit this processor. It's a really big one. I mean, it's about the 2 quarters of a credit card. So that's pretty beefy build. And then the other one is this Took forever to find. Got one. It's the 3090, RTX 3090. It's incredible. This is like people line up outside of the store for a couple hours and even days probably to try to get one of these. Yeah, this is really hard to come by. This is, I walked into the store, they happened to have one in stock. I was like, okay, this is the one we need for that. There was no other option, so this is the only one I could find. So I guess that's the one we're using. Yeah, 3090, yeah, feels very heavy. And then I had to get some fans because the case we got does not have fans internally. So I got the Lian Li case. They were out of stock on the regular white one, so I had to get the black one. And all right, and yeah, so it's pretty nice. I like it. I haven't seen it. They didn't have a demo in store. Yeah, and it's all green, so it's gonna disappear here in the green screen. All right, so we'll get started here assembling this together, and I think my audio level should be pretty decent according to the level. I'm gonna bring them up a bit just to be on the safe side. 1, 2, check, 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 check. There we go. I'll bring the compressor on. There we go. Okay, so we got a compressor a little bit. Should be a little bit louder. And also, I don't know if the music is loud in the background, so if it is, let me know. Okay, so I like to start obviously with the motherboard. That's the main actor. Oh, power supply. Again, there was only 3 options left in the entire Micro Center, at least in my state. For the amount of power we're going to be using for this build, we estimated about 600 watts, so we went with a 850 watt power supply just in case we add more hard drives, and maybe if we need to add a different type of cooler or something else in the future, that we get a little bit of headroom in the power supply department. So let me make some space here and just leave the motherboard and the processor. So we got a really fancy camera set up top, so we'll see if, let me prep it and see if I can go to it. Let's see. Might take a little testing to get used to. There we go. Okay, so we'll be cutting live to that camera here in a second. Let me zoom out a bit. Okay, cool. Let's see, that would be camera, can't see it before I, camera 4. All right, so we're going to camera 4, and 3, 2, and 1. All right, so this is the motherboard. Might be a little backwards for you, it's all right. The camera is at an angle, so not much I can do about that. So let's open this up. It's got a nice little plastic cover. And here we go. Wow, it's actually got a really nice sliding here. Yeah, it's got a lot of cool details. Let me zoom in for you guys here so we can appreciate. I like how it comes, one of them, ones I built earlier did not have a cover on this part. I like how this one does come with a cover. Let me make sure the focus is on. There we go. Yep, so we got 8 slots of RAM. We got, let's see what else. I got to remove this cover to install the hard drive, so we'll be doing that first. Got to remove a lot of stickers for airflow and for protection of that clear part. But overall, it looks pretty standard. Wow, a lot of power. So this one will use a lot of power. I can see already it has 2 8s and 1 6-pin power inputs. I hope our power supply does have, it should have enough for that. So we'll see about that. And it overall looks really nice. I like to take a moment and take it all in because usually you don't get to see it like this after. So we got a lot of headers here. Let me zoom out a little bit. Let me move a bit. So this is like controlling a drone that's really far away. So there we go. Yeah, these are the power rails I was talking about that we have to hope that we have enough cables in the power supply kit. There should be, but sometimes we don't. In any case, I have extras. And there's a 2 LED strip controllers here, so that'll be pretty easy to set up. It's nice that we have 2 of them, because sometimes, actually no, we have a total of 4. That's great, so we can have 4 separate RGB control zones, so we can control the lighting. And getting some messages here, let me check. Let's see, okay. Finally, oh, okay, let's see. Let's see, Ryzen. All right, yeah, a friend of mine is texting me about some specs he's got on his machine. Cool. All right, so let's remove the tray. Usually comes with a nice motherboard tray. Wow, it's actually pretty heavy. It's actually very heavy. Let's see. Let me zoom out. There we go. There we go. Okay. And yeah, that's the main part. Let's zoom out, like all the way out, and let's see if I can show you the box, because there's a lot of cool stuff inside the box here. I didn't mean this to be an unboxing video, but I guess with all these parts we kind of have to go through it. So wireless cards, SATA cables. This looks different. Antennas. Oh no, screws. Look at that. Wow. Really nice set of Phillips and a longer set of Phillips. Okay, it's really nice. I've never seen that before on a motherboard case. That's the first. Yeah, 8 multi-bit screwdriver. Wow, nice. Asus is including a lot of tools now. I always had used my trusty iFixit. Now this is probably, what is this? This, I might have to read the manual on this one. Let's see. All right, this looks very interesting. I believe this is what goes on this part, and it looks like it's either some sort of extra RAM module, or I have to read about it. That's very interesting. Never seen this component. It reminds me of one of those old Nintendo cartridges. Really solid too. A block of aluminum. So let's put that here. Extra screws. The manual. Yeah, gonna be using this for sure. Wow. What is this? A little disc. All right, so we got the manual. Let me put this aside for now. All right, let's see what else we got. Oh, wow. Okay, so we got all the little cables, all the probes for the temperature. Sorry, I'm trying to read here. There's a lot to take in. USB with utilities and drivers inside. Now, this is definitely a first I've ever seen. A USB, let me open this up. With drivers pre-installed. That's kind of cool. For sure. I'll probably still update to the latest drivers just to be safe, but it's good to know that I don't have to find a specific. Oh, this is quite the sticker here. Actually, I don't have a knife with me. I'm probably gonna need one, so I will step out, grab a knife, and be right back. Let me bring out something to hold the image. All right, now I'm gonna mute my mic, and I'll be back. 3, 2, 1. You should be able to hear me. Coming back soon. 3, 2, and 1. All right, we're back. So I was able to get a X-Acto knife to be able to open all these boxes. Because open it up without a knife, it's gonna take a long time. So as I was saying, this looks to be like a USB hard drive. Yep, it's a tiny USB hard drive. Let me switch cameras. Camera 3 on that one. Not quite. Let's try again. Let's see. Camera 4.
Not camera 6?
No, camera 4. That's my mistake. All right, so yeah, this is a tiny little, let me see if I can find it, USB they have included. It's really nice that they include this, because a lot of the times you end up having to go online and finding all these drivers yourself, and it just takes forever to download them, and you need another computer to get that working. So it's great that they included this. It makes it feel like it's ready to go from the box, which, you know, any custom built, it kind of is not. You always have to work a little bit on it, but it's getting a step closer to that. So let me keep zooming out. And yeah, in the studio here, I have a friend of mine, Jeff. He just walked away, but shout out Jeff to all people who are listening. All right, so let's see. All right, we keep going through this. We got a ton more cables. Really nice cables, actually. Braided SATA cables. It's the first I haven't seen. They also have the regular plastic ones, but these are braided. So I wonder if they're special. And then we got fan cables, fan controller, LED light cables, and it's just another fan. Yeah, looks like it's a fan board to expand more fans. Yeah, of course, stickers. Can't live without them. So far, a lot of stuff in here. All right, have a good one, Jeff. All right. And then we got the screws for the NVMe hard drives that are going to be mounted on the board itself. Okay. Oh, more stickers. I didn't even realize. Yeah, I have a collection of these. These are actually pretty nice. And a thank you card. Let's see. All right, and that's the motherboard components. So I always like to kind of make a tray with all the screws and all the components from the motherboard, because they tend to get mixed up with the ones from the case. The ones from the case always are, they're always a little bit different, and you always want to keep those separate, you know. Just when you're mounting the motherboard to the case, you need the right screws, and it's easy to mix them up. Okay, we'll go on to the unboxing of the big one, ThreadRipper. So here we go. Let's see if I can find a better shot here. There we go. Okay. There we go. Slides. Let's see. Let's try. Ooh. Okay. That comes in a nice plastic case. Hold on, let me check my phone real quick. Ah, you got the same motherboard. Yeah, it's a great motherboard. So I guess maybe you can maybe help me explain what that component is for. I'll have to read in the manual, see what's up with that. All right, we got the sticker for Ryzen, and a bigger sticker because, of course, it's a bigger processor. The notorious tool. Without this, we could not complete the job. And the cooler, or actually the tray to hold in the CPU in place. Kind of like changing car tire, like the rims. Okay, so let's Let's take a refresher course on the manual just to make sure nothing has changed. So a lot of stuff in here. Yeah, the fan extension card. So I always like to read the manual just a bit, at least glance at it. The overall board layout. This part right here is very important. It shows you where the stuff is, and I know it's probably going to be backwards on your screen. Not much I can do on that, or at least upside down. I would have to flip it. Yeah, that could kind of work. Yeah. So yeah, I like to sort of glance at this diagram and sort of see what components and where things go. It's a great tool to orient yourself with a new board, especially when it's something this new with a lot of new cables, a lot of new connectors. So you want to refresh yourself just to be up to date. So looks like we have the M.2 sockets over here. It's one of them, and a second one down here. So we will have to lift this panel to install the solid state. So I'll install it in socket 2, in socket 1. I'll do it in socket 1. Let's see what else. Of course, the layout of the RAM, also very important. Pretty standard, but always take a double check. Expansion slots, you know, some of them have these restart buttons in the motherboard, which is pretty handy when you're trying to debug something. And let's see, internal connectors, SATA ports. So it looks like we only got 8 SATA ports, SATA. Just pretty decent. There was a time there was one of the motherboards that we have here that has 12. So they're definitely going down and adding other things over that, probably clearing bandwidth for more PCI lanes. Oh, and here's the DIMM.2. Oh, okay, so it looks like that is for an additional, there we go. It's for an additional M.2 module. So that answers the question we had earlier about what is the purpose of this Nintendo looking like piece, and that is for more solid states to be attached inside. Yep, and I see it now. It's very clear to me. That's what it is. So 2 of them, you can probably RAID them and then put them on the board. That's pretty cool. That's really nice. I gotta admit that is a pretty nice way to RAID 2 of these really fast drives and get ridiculously fast read and write speeds on a local computer. All right, and I think that was the main question I had. There is a water block connector, but that's okay. That's for something else. Good. All right. Let's check. Sorry, I forgot to check just the part. Show you guys the part of the. Okay. Oh, let's see. Thermal paste. I believe yes. I have extra in case we need it. The cooler should come with thermal paste. It looks like I have to remove the external cap first, slide the carrier with the CPU. Okay, so there's a little carrier frame, then gently latch that on. Okay, so it's multiple steps here. I gotta remove the plate loading screws, so I gotta, okay, and then external cap. Okay. All right, let's do this. Okay, I'm gonna make a little bit more space here. Okay, let me move this camera just so we have this in frame. And again, I apologize for the angle. The rails in the roof are parallel to me, so I can't mount the camera any other way. But you can have a nice top-down shot. which would be otherwise impossible with a tripod. So let's go ahead and open this. I'm almost afraid to open it here. I'll open it over here. It looks so nice. Okay. There we go. Okay, so there it is. Almost looks like an award you get for best build of the year. Nice little award. You know, a lot of plastic, but that's the way to store a high-end processor. Okay, so let's get that tool that I mentioned. Now this will be my 4th AMD build, but only my 2nd in this socket. So I usually only used to build Intel, of course, like all things. There's change, and Intel's no longer the big guy in the room. There's so many options now with AMD that it almost doesn't make sense to stick with Intel. Still hoping for them to release something really nice, maybe, I don't know, 128-bit computers. You know, forcing everyone to change operating systems and upgrade everything else. Maybe have petabytes of RAM. Okay, so that lifted up a bit. Just so it makes more sense to me. And I'll bring the iris down a bit. Let me see if I can bring it down. There we go. There we go. A little darker, you know. Just a little. All right, so let me check again. I don't want to get anything dirty in there. Any dust, because that will be a pain. Pretty clean room. I don't think anyone's been in this room for a couple months, so not much to worry about. Contaminants in the air. Just gotta make sure that all the plastic parts that need to be removed are removed. Okay. So we remove this guy. Okay, let's see. There we go. So there's 2 latches on. So that's different from an Intel. Intel usually only has 1. You got 2 of them to worry about. So then I got to replace. This is where the hard drive is going to go. I mean, the CPU is going to go right in this one. And I'm going to have to remove this plastic part and replace it with that. So this has an unlock button here. Let's see, hopefully nothing shoots out, because I would hate it if it shot out. Let's see, the unlock button. Check the manual again, because it's being really funny. Installation instructions. No pictures. Look at that. There we go. So actually I need instructions on how to remove it from the packaging. That's how. Looks like none of those are included here. So it's all right. We'll have to, I think it's a unlock. Let's see. There we go. Okay, so it's a little latch. It just comes off. I thought it was a little more complicated, but apparently it's just, you just pull it off. So a little bit of force when in doubt goes a long way. So I don't want to expose the pins. Yep, they're just exposed. So I'm just gonna pull it out slightly. And then take this guy out. Ooh, wow, look at that. And slide that right in carefully. Okay, looks like that lines up. I'm getting a text here from a few friends to see what they're saying. Yeah, it looks like they are approving of the installation. So let's remove this part now. Let's see. Is there a special trick for that to come out? Usually this is the hardest part. Everything else is plastic on plastic. This is metal on metal. And it's very unforgiving. So it's always good to triple check. There's no shame in that. So it looks like we just then remove. There has to be a click. Yeah. Click here. Let's remove. There we go. It just comes around. That exposes the pins. Let me zoom in. There we go. And we're going to now proceed to land. Okay. Very nice. Made in Malaysia. Yeah. There we go. And this just slides down. I wonder if the orange, I guess the orange part, yeah, the orange part has to stay on it. Hope it's heat resistant, because that's gonna heat up. It has to be. It has to be. Let's see. Central processing unit. Alright, let's see. The music is annoying. I know I can't. It's in the other board, and apparently I cannot control the USB music on the board from the remote the remote app. So gotta wait till Yamaha updates that for us to be able to control that. It looks like they're all, yep, in sequence, 1, 2, and 3, and then tighten. Okay. So I'm going to check here the manual. What is it saying about loosen in 1, 2, 3? Okay, tighten 1, 2, 3 until it clicks. Okay. Let me move the camera a bit so we have, there we go, a better view. Perfect. So one, two, just like a car tire, right? You want to tighten them just a little by little so that you get an even bite. Okay. So this tool has to click when I tighten them. So eventually we'll hear a click from this orange tool. Getting there. This might be the click. No, not yet. Let's see over here. 1, 2, 3. Beautiful. All right, that's it. That's the big part. That's the hardest part, I think, is putting the hard drive in. Now with the hard drive in, let's go ahead and move on to the solid state. And these parts, I guess if I ever need to ship back the motherboard for anything, I'll have to store these. If I, for some reason, have to remove the hard drive, hopefully not, but you never know. Let's go ahead and open the solid state. So let me zoom out a bit so I can appreciate more. There we go. Iris down. So, like I said, this is a brand new type of solid state, at least for me. I didn't know they had one this fast. I've seen 5,000 megabits, but 7,000. That's pretty crazy. Yep. And there it is. So now we gotta expose, and I'm gonna use the provided screwdrivers. Just why not? You know, they included them. Let's see if they're worth anything. Yeah, they're pretty nice. They actually do feel a lot like the ones I use already. Wow, this one's it's got some. There we go. I don't think that comes off. I think this whole metal part comes off. Okay. All right, and I think they're captive screws, which is great. Fall apart. Nice block of aluminum. Oh, they're not captive. They're just really long. Still, very nice. Put that away. Okay, so this exposes both of the rails for the NVMe. So I'll be installing that in socket 1, and we need to get the screws to match the right length of it. So this is a full length one. Yeah, yes. It is the ThreadRipper. Let's see. 3960X, 24 cores, 48 threads, 4.5 gigahertz. Yeah, this is the big one, Jeremy. This is a pretty good one. All right, so let's get that little component. All these little bags, there we go. All right, so just to get an estimate on the length, just double check. Yep, okay, so we are good. Okay, and we can use almost. Sometimes they line up pretty nicely, so I'll have to use something else to tighten it. Maybe this one. Nope. Okay, let's bring out the wrench. There we go. There we go. Perfect. 1 terabyte solid state installed. Oh, magnetic, very nice. Like magnets. There we go. All right, so we got the solid state installed. In retrospect, although pricing and finding these parts were kind of hard, had I known this board could handle that RAID combination, I probably would have gone with a RAID instead of the single SSD, but value and efficiency, eventually it is always cheaper going to go the SATA route, way cheaper, so went that route. Never forget to remove the little, I call this sticks of gum, but I know they probably have a fancier name, It's a little piece of plastic that covers the cooler paste for the solid states. Number one killer of these drives is heat. They're very susceptible to heat, more than you would like to know. They die pretty often when they're overheated, and their speed actually goes down quickly when they overheat. So there we go. All right. So it's nice that we have a nice cool metal part that sort of sits over them and transfers some of the heat to a bigger surface area. There we go. There we go. Going pretty good. We might be able to live stream the Windows installation too. Just trying to keep it under an hour. We're at 49 minutes, so the whole thing will probably be a two-hour long stream. So let me gather this part so we're done with this. Okay. Just clearing some stuff. A little trophy. It does sit like a little trophy. I wonder what people have done with these cases afterwards. I guess they just collect them. Yeah. Kind of looks like a little trash can, upside down. Okay. Another one comes to the red team. Yeah, red team. Red team, yep, for sure. All right, so let's see. I don't like to put the RAM until the board is all the way in. I don't like to put anything else pretty much on the board. It doesn't make sense to put anything else until the board is in. So yeah, at this point, remove the stickers. I always like to remove all the stickers at this point because I always end up forgetting, and if you put a motherboard, graphics card or something, it'll cover the sticker and then it'll eventually peel off and get pulled into a fan and clog something later and cause problems. So yeah, I think that's the only stickers we had to deal with. Not many stickers. Usually it's littered with stickers, protective stickers, that is. Okay, it's got a nice rails with fans in there. I don't know if you can see them, but there's like 2 or 3 fans in here. That's really nice. All right, so we can now make space for the case, the computer case. We have not opened it yet. We're gonna have to unbox that and work with that. So gotta make a lot of space. This table's not super big, but it'll do for now. Okay, so unboxing the case. I'm gonna have to, I'll open it here on the side, so let's see if I can drive this camera to the right place. Nope. Okay, let me, okay, so I'm gonna switch cameras. Had to get a drink of water. I'm not used to talking this much. I haven't talked this much ever. Alright. Okay, so here we go. I'm gonna open it on the side. It's just a case. I'm not gonna do an unboxing on it. So you'll have to imagine the styrofoam and all the padding and all the bags and all the stuff I gotta fight to get to it. It does come with nicer laser cut foam, so it's not necessarily styrofoam. I don't know if it's better for the environment or if it's just more protective. There we go. Struggle is done. So this case is a Lian Li case, but it's got a Razer branding. 1 second. There we go, we're back. Had to open the door here for the FedEx guy. We got some new equipment in, which was the whole reason I'm in the office. So mission accomplished. We're still waiting a few more packages, but the main ones are here. All right, so this is the case, Lian Li. I know someone's asking what's for lunch. It was, of course, busara, some kapow tofu. That's classic. So like I was saying, this Lian Li case was, I believe, built either in partnership or for Razer. So it's got Razer themed stickers and green. It's the only one they had that was black, so I went with that one. Not necessarily for the Razer brand, but I like the airflow. This is the second one of this case that we have in the office. So it's a pretty low profile, pretty nice looking case. So I'm gonna here switch camera to the top one again. Camera 6. Let's try that one. Let's try camera 6. Ooh, looks like camera 6 is not enabled in the mixer. All right, so I'll have to do camera 3 again. There we go. All right, so let's zoom out. Wrong way. There we go. Really upside down. Let me switch back to camera 6 here. Let me enable that. For some reason it's not enabled, so it'll just take me a few moments here to enable. Camera 6 is yeah, there we go. That's better. Okay. Okay. Let's see, there we go. Okay. So let me bring the iris down in this one. There we go. Probably tilt it down a bit. Okay. Okay. It's going to be a kind of a fight between getting a good angle for me and good angle for the camera. So apologize if you're not getting the best angle. So this one is a kind of a interesting way of building it. I think you gotta slide things up and down, which is pretty nice. I haven't seen a case do that. Usually the glass panel has a screw that's already attached. This one, the glass panel has little notches that go into these metal bars, and then it just sits on there. But yeah, overall, pretty open case, a lot of airflow, a lot of space. It's wider than most cases, so you can live with a little bit of wider, and it's got a nice magnetic filter for the top air cooler. Now I think I'm going to put the air cooler inside on this part over here instead of the top. We'll see how big this motherboard sits, and from there we'll go. I'm looking for the box with all the screws. It's usually somewhere around here, so just bear with me a second. Oh, it even has two hard drive slots. Usually nowadays it's hard to get one full-size hard drive slot, so it's good to know that I can still put in extra storage if we needed it. Some high-capacity stuff. But like I said, I think solid states are reaching the price where it almost doesn't make sense to get spinning drives, depending on how much you want to store and how long. I'm going to take all the glass just because that way I'm not worried about breaking anything on camera. That would be, of course, very, very eventful. All right, let's go flat. Switch cameras. Camera 3, I think. No, why am I always confused? It's camera 4. That's the one. Okay. All right, so this might be a little tricky to program. Let's see. Yeah, you might have to see it on an angle. It's all right. Actually, you know what? Let me just slide everything. There we go. Yeah, it's definitely like controlling a drone that it's kind of far away from you. There we go. So now you can see the insides a little better. Okay. Okay, a lot of space, a lot of headroom on the top. So I could put it on the top, the cooler. I'll see, I'll think about it as I'm building it and see how much space we have with this board. This is a pretty big board, so I kind of want to let it have its space inside the case just for all the stuff that's going to be connected to it. Since I'm preparing this, there we go. Like I said, this is a really heavy board, and now with the CPU, it's even heavier. Good. Good. Oh, it's almost like a laptop. It's actually probably heavier than a MacBook already, if you can believe that. All right. There we go. All right, that sits right there beautifully. So yeah, a lot of headroom. Yeah, I think I'll go with the top mount. I think that's probably going to be the best in the long run. Pushing air out, so the hot air will go out, cool air will come through the side. Yeah, I think that might be the best. I don't like to put it inside. Sometimes I have to, but the hot air gets stuck in here and you have to always find a way to push it out. I like to push the hot air out. So let's do that. Now this is where the part I said the screws from the case don't want to be mixed with the screws from the motherboard. It makes more sense even when you have a liquid cooler. Once we open that up, all those parts are going to be really tricky to keep. Spacer for the graphics card, pretty nice. Well, just a block of rubber. Stuck in here is Velcro and all the screws. So it looks like fan screws, a bunch of fan screws, and a lot of fan screws. And then a mix of everything. Okay, we're gonna have to use a little tray from the iFixit sort of hold, and let me see if I can tilt the camera a bit more. There we go. There, at least you can see the screws I'll be picking up from here. All right. So, yeah, these are, wow. I don't know what these are for. So let's go to the manual. I'm thinking they are for some kind of custom cooler. Surely a 69 XT. Let's see. All right. Let's see. That is called for the hard drive mount. Okay, so these are for the hard drive mounts. Good to know. So I need to know ones for the motherboard mount. It's of course A. It's the little ones with the. Let me zoom in all the way. Let's see what kind of zoom power this thing has. There we go. Let's see if I can even find it. Yeah, this guy. This guy is for the motherboard, and the focus is probably not gonna. Let me see if we can manually control this. No, it's not gonna let me. It's beyond. It's too much. I'm asking it to do too much. Maybe. Come on. Anyway, yeah, that's the motherboard screws. So I got to find about 12 of these and start attaching these to the motherboard so it doesn't move. There we go. It's probably the best shot I'm gonna find. There we go. So let's start. Hopefully I don't block you guys when I lean in. Okay, so, and I'll keep using the provided screwdriver. I liked it. I do like it a lot. It's got a nice, very nice finish to it. There we go, first screw. Strong magnet too, that's great. It's always great, magnets. All right. Go. Go. Yeah, this magnet's awesome. I usually would have dropped one by now. I would have had to be fishing it out, but they must have used the real good stuff. All right, let's see. So yeah, there's a balance between over tightening and under tightening. I've had in past years under tighten and I've seen them fall. So make sure you always go a tiny bit on the harder side than on the lower side. It's actually pretty hard to break it with your hand. Obviously, you know, if you've been working out, maybe not, but. All right, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 screws that have been attached. I believe that is all the mounting points for this board. And we're good. I think we're good. I think, yeah, nice glass finish here. Very reflective. Cool. All right, that's it. That's the board it's in. Now I'm gonna help myself here, since I'm gonna take some of these off, since I know the 3090 will be using 3. Might as well help myself now and remove these. I do wish this was a better layout for this. I mean, sorry, a better, I've seen some where they have like a clamp system that can hold all these little brackets in place instead of all these little screws, but that's fine. I mean, this is pretty standard. This is like from the 80s, probably 70s, old, you know, style. screw and bracket. That's I know Dell uses a pretty interesting one that has one screw in it and it latches on, bites everything on. All right, so cooler. And for that, I'm gonna have to unbox the cooler itself. Ta-da. Okay, so this says supports all Intel and AMD chips ever made, or at least in stores now, right? All right, so let's remove all the plastic. Let me see. And I'm going to switch cameras here. I'll enable the main camera here. Let's see. Yeah, that'll do. Yeah. All right, so for the unboxing part here. So yeah, it's the green screen's gonna freak out a bit, but there, a little bit less noise. Yeah, I guess brown is too close to green. Okay. Okay, let me, a lot of components here, so let's take a sit down for this one. Bag of screws. So this is the one you don't want to mix. Not that it's a problem if you mix it, as long as you can sort of figure the way out, but it's easier if you don't. There's so many little screws that are very similar, but the thread is slightly different enough to strip the threading on the board or on the case, so you don't want to deal with that. So it looks like this comes pretty built already, which is very nice. Usually it takes a long time to, yeah, look at that. So this should be pretty straightforward, actually. Yeah, this might be a pretty fast build. Kind of happy about that. Okay, I'm going to switch cameras to camera, let's go to camera 4. Okay, go in there. Let me zoom out. There we go. There we go. So, this is always a little bit awkward because you can't sit really inside. So I'm going to remove the magnetic little filter, put it aside for now. And off camera I have a pile of boxes piling up here, but I'm going to have to sort them out later. Just everything comes in a box within a box within a box. So, okay, so screws for the cooler. So these are nicely labeled. It says AMD, AMD 4. This is the ones I'm looking for. Let me put them over here. That way we have a different pile. Yeah, that's the only one I'm going to worry for now. Is that one. So this might be a little tricky. Actually, I'll rotate it. Why not? Why not? There we go. Okay, so that way it's facing me and makes life easier. Okay, so the washers are very important because the vibration from the motors will loosen the screws, so don't cut any corners by not putting the washers. They have a purpose. Also, they add space. If you don't use the washer, your screw will bite into the radiator and it'll leak. So it's very important to not skip a step. And if you forget, it can be forgiving You know, there is a lot of clearance there, but you want to not over tighten it because you might pierce the radiator. Yeah, looks like it's plenty of space. I would rather have the logo right side up just for the looks. So I guess it looks like we also have enough space for that maneuver. So I'll just sit it slowly there. All right. The cables are facing the back. That way I can run them nicely and I don't have to run them through the front. So all these little things you have to decide now before you start attaching it. Let me check. Getting messages here. Let's see. All right. All right, let's continue. Oh, 1 second, actually. All right. So we'll start. I don't have a camera back here, so you'll have to. What I'm doing is just putting a washer and a screw, and I'm starting to attach the radiator to the top part of the case. And I'm trying to also level it, or center it, a better word, so that the pipes are not too stressed. So we got one screw in, fairly easy. Let's see. Two screws in. Okay. It's gonna be. You got an hour and 15 minutes streaming, so almost to. Actually, what's left is power supply, cable management, RAM, and the other fans. So it shouldn't be much longer. All right, got that. It's a huge radiator. Pretty sure this could cool down a motorcycle, or at least a lawnmower. Yeah, this is probably the biggest radiator I have installed to date. Actually, no, I actually installed the same one already. So this is my second one of this same type of radiator. And I can pause the music if you guys the music's too much. I can just kill it and we can enjoy the silence or the sound of the breathing. I'm sure the mic is picking up. There we go. A lot of screws, got to hold it in place, so just gotta keep going until we finish. Last two. And the reason for all these screws and all this, again, is to remove vibrations that will eventually loosen the screws and also cause noise on the case. So vibrations, loose screws and all that leads to more noise, more rattle, and eventually things vibrating out of place and screws falling inside, and you can imagine the rest, damaging internal electronics. All right, well, that's that part. Okay, so now I gotta read the manual because this type of bracket, I think I might have to use the one that was included with the CPU. So let me grab that bracket real quick. This guy over here, as opposed to the one that is included with the cooler. I'll just see which one's nicer, and I'll put that one in. have, let's see. So, yep, that lines up. Okay. So it looks like, let's see. Which one's nicer? Chrome, shiny and chrome, or kind of black and dull looking? Shiny and chrome it is. I think it's, yeah, shiny and chrome for sure. It's cool they included. The holes are not quite there though. That's kind of, oh, that's kind of weird. Maybe I spoke too soon. Yeah, look at that. It's too small. Game over. It is. We're gonna have to use the one included with this thing. So, okay. Okay. So let's see. If I remember correctly, I have to remove the existing one and then replace it with the correct one. So, peeling this off. Now that's not a lot of paste, thermal paste. If I run into cooling problems, I'm gonna have to add a lot more because this thing is, it doesn't even cover the whole CPU. Yeah, there's gonna be parts of it that are gonna be just air cooled. So that might not be fun. So we'll see about fixing that in the later times. Later times. All right, let's see. So the logo has to go up. So, okay, so a little bit of pre-planning here. Okay. There we go, ready for connection. Yeah, that would be a pretty straightforward. Wow, look at that. That's it. I didn't have to worry about other screws or. So again, we grab a screwdriver for this. Same thing with car tires. You want to apply even threading so that you don't unbalance it or mount it unbalanced. So I think the pipes are going to look pretty nice. Decent curve there, but not too bad. A lot of clearance. There we go. There we go. Oh, look, left behind. Yeah, I really like the screwdriver. They should probably just sell the screwdriver too. Aces screwdrivers. Huh? Okay. So, to the motherboard and to the fans. So, I'll do it to the CPU fan. Yeah, I'll do that. Just because I don't want to deal with reprogramming the BIOS to tell it to ignore the CPU fan. So that's that. All right, and we're done with this part. Let's do power supply. So this is getting heavier by the minute. So taking up the back part, the back panel, just cut up something. There we go. So a lot of space back here. Yeah, a lot of space. I gotta disconnect some of these cables so that we can later connect them to the board. I'm actually going to run them through this bottom. Yeah, I'll run them through here for now. Won't be super nice and pretty yet. I'll probably tighten it a little bit off camera just so that I can get to BIOS, and I'll probably end the stream at BIOS. Oh, we'll see. Maybe it's a fast enough drive that we can install Windows in 5 minutes. So yeah, there's the 10 gigabit network connection. A lot of USBs in the back. 2 USB 2s. Sorry, USB 2s. USB-C. USB 2s. That's not great. That would not be great. There we go. So that's oh yeah, unboxing this thing. I'll just open it off camera just for the times. It's a power supply. It's nothing super special to look at. Yeah. It's a black box. All it is. Black box that converts voltage, alternating current to DC. There we go. Nice EVGA. So I guess 3 EVGA components: the graphics card, the power supply, and the cooler. So I guess they're giving Corsair a run for their money. Okay, so I'm gonna put the fan facing. It's actually a good question. Yeah, facing out. There is a grill here. So I'll put the fan. I'll take the sticker off because the sticker always rattles, makes noise. Okay. And now we got to get the case screws, which are these, and a screwdriver, and find the ones that are for mounting a hard drive. So the power supply ones do look different. Just keep that in mind. They're a little bit bigger, and actually, let me see. Sometimes they include them, and I like to use the ones they include just because they might be more exact. Yep, look at that. So the power supply brought its own screws, so I won't use the motherboard, the ones provided by the case. I'll use the ones provided by the power supply. You'll always end up with extra screws. That's just, it's not like Legos. You usually end up with 1 or 2 pieces of Legos. Here you end up with a lot of extra pieces. As long as you're conscious of why, you should be all right. I think these are stainless steel, so these are not too bad. Pretty nice. And the last one. There we go. Okay. In retrospect, I probably should have plugged in the cords before I did this, but it looks like there's a lot of space here for my hand to maneuver around the inside of the case while okay, so that's a different fillet here. So I'm trying to remove this panel. I know I'm rushing a little bit, so maybe the camera work will get even sloppier than it was before. Oh wow, this is... Ooh, for a second I didn't want it stripped. I didn't strip. Good. Okay. So, removing that part. Now we have a tons of space back here to work. That's great. I like that. It's not like those little cases that you gotta struggle, break your hand. Let me see if nothing's gonna fly out. There we go. Okay. All right. Okay, so now we're gonna be doing some wiring for the power supply. Not a lot of wires. A lot of wires to the motherboard, yes, but in general, not a lot of wires. We'll try to leave it as clean as possible. Of course, there's always a limit to that, how much you can do. Okay, so here we go, CPU. So I'm gonna bring this up on its side again and just start plugging in. Hope the table can hold all this weight. Okay, so I'm already seeing a issue that I might have. This only has for 8 CPU headers, and I might need one more. So I'm gonna have to go to the manual and check and make sure that I can use, if I can use a SATA one. Sorry, use a GPU power head, because that's what I think it is, instead of the 8-pin CPU. So that's a lot of power this motherboard uses. And part of the reason I think is 10 gigabit Ethernet needs also a lot of juice to be able to push 10 gigabits to Ethernet. So I'm trying to talk and fight with cables here at the same time. All right, there we go. So I'll put it on its side so you guys can see. Okay, so I'm trying to connect, let's see, there. So zoom in, perfect. Look at that, great shot. There we go. So yeah, CPU headers here, and there we go, 1 and 2. Let's do another set for a total of 8. Okay, that's that. Let's keep on moving to bigger. Here we go. Okay, so this guy, let's go slide down a bit. There we go. Very interesting, yeah. Look at that. The other way. All right. When in doubt, just try it the other way. Okay. So that's that. So now let me check the manual, because again, I want to make sure we're using the right amount of power. Would hate to build this big computer and not starve it of power. So sometimes it's optional, or conditional is a better word, if you're using. So that is number, okay, let me see. There we go. C. Recommends a 50 connect both and a 4-pin power plug into an 8-pin. Huh. Okay, A, C. Okay. Still does not answer my question. and or. Here we go. Interesting. Okay. Well, it looks like it's optional. Not the most reassuring, but yeah, I think it's optional. It has to be. Do not connect the 4 pin. $1,000 watts. Okay, well, we'll just do those two and see what happens. Worst case scenario, it won't turn on. No, it'd be all right. It's not necessary. I think that's for when you have multiple graphics cards and you need a lot more power, then you'll have to do that. But for now, we're only doing one graphics card, and that should be plenty of power for the board. Where's the RGB? Oh, the watch face. So this one, that's a good question there. Let's see if I can, there we go. Yeah, it's, I don't know, I'll look it up. I liked it because it shows me the steps and the heartbeat, heart rate, which is at 60 right now. Usually at 50. Try to keep myself calm, but right now I'm struggling with this, so I got 1 beat per minute per second. Yeah, let's see, connect this. All right. So, sorry you missed that, but I was just connecting the back parts here. And let me flip this one more time. Oof. Okay, so yeah, I'm connecting all these spaghetti of stuff into the board. Power switch, eventually get to it. A lot of cables. Every little thing gets a cable. I can't imagine an airplane or a car. That's got to be crazy, the amount of cables inside that. Car, I mean, I've seen a car, but the airplane, every button being powered, that's got to be crazy cable management. All right. We'll need, so the 3090 needs 3 SATA plugs. So I'm going to have to use pretty much all the ones that, sorry, not SATA, VGA power plugs. So I'm going to have to use all the ones provided by the power supply. Okay. We'll need 1 regular SATA for the solid state, which are here. And I'm just going to plug them in just so that we're ahead of the game on that part. I'll plug it on the bottom one. Being blinded by all these lights. Oh. It's great spaghetti here. Of course, there's a lot of space there now, so it'll all be hidden. So it'll look much nicer. All right, so I'm going to rotate it once again. Probably got to get up to get more leverage. Yeah, almost lost the screws. All right, there we go. Zoom out. All right, so we got the motherboard powered. We got to get these fans connected. So I got to remove all the tie wraps from the fans on the cooler, running through the back. So right now we're down to the details. The major things have been already installed. The only things pending are still in the box are the graphics cards and the extra fans, and yeah, that's it. I had to get extra fans for that side. Okay. So. All right, we got one, we got two. We're missing one. It's kind of weird. No, I guess not. We're missing. No, we're not. There we go. All the way in the corner, stuck. There we go. All right. So we're gonna get to the. Oh, actually no, I lied. There is one thing we have to open, the solid state. I think I put that back here. Oh, we gotta open Windows too, and the RAM. Oh, I got a few things, left to unbox. So I'll go ahead and put this in just for the, just because it'll be easier right now than later. I don't like that they're at the bottom, but that's where they are. So bottom mounted solid states. Okay, so this goes in this part over here. There we go. Okay, so nice little tray. So goes right there. I gotta find some screws. Oh, that's where the flat screws come in. Remember I was asking about them? Yeah, looks like that's what they're for. Although, I'm doubting that. Yeah. I don't know. Doesn't seem like that would be the place, but let's try. Okay. Perfect. So. Okay, here we go. Okay, we got the other one. One last screw. Nope, not that one. Really like this screwdriver. I think it's been the surprise of the day. Thought I was gonna be impressed by many. I mean, I am very impressed by other things, but so far that's been a very useful addition. I wouldn't mind it if they include it in all their boards. I'm gonna probably have to take it out. Actually, I'll do that right now. I already see it's gonna be really hard to maneuver around, so I'm gonna just preemptively, I guess is the word I'm looking for. Wire it, and I'll use the nice braided cable. Yeah, I've never seen that SATA braided cable. It's the future. So it's got a nice little braid. I'll use the both flat ends, and I'll use I think that actually I included already yeah, see that. All right. So I'll just undo what I just did, and here, that's probably a better angle for you guys. There we go. Now again, I'm not going for the super great cable management yet. Just going for boot. Make sure that we can get this to turn on. So, not a lot of space here at the bottom, but I can still probably make do. Yeah, this will work. There we go. Showing my head. All right, yeah, there we go. That's the main part here. All right, let's see. All right, we have connection. Yeah, that's probably not my favorite place for them. Such a big case. I would assume they could have found a better spot, but they're always hidden. So I guess people want to see them. You know, if you pay so much money for something like that, it makes sense to have it visible. So there it is. Samsung solid states are installed. So I'm gonna start sort of tightening up here. It's starting to catch up to me. Okay, so Velcro, let's see. Oh, there's a lot of strips. So I'll switch cameras. Let's go to camera 6. All right. Perfect. Okay, there we go. So now you can see the craziness of cables that we got back here. One. These need to be all the way. Okay, so I now got to pull the fan cables up here. So that's always a little tricky. And of course I have super blinding lights, so that makes it extra fun. All right. Got one cable in. Oh yeah, that would be better. Oh yeah, much better. There we go. You can at least see through the shadow a little bit. Okay. That's another cable. And there is another cable here. So I don't have a light going straight underneath there. Yeah, it's too late to set one up. So I have to do with the darkness. I could probably boost the gain on these cameras, but they're not great. Let's see. Yeah, that'll. All right, so we got all the connectors. Now we just gotta get the connector from the cooler through the same notch here. There we go. Okay. So 2 fans, so all 3 fans are powered by this guy. And I'm actually surprised that the cooler doesn't have an external power source that's pulling all from the motherboard. I guess that's all right. I'm usually used to some kind of power connector on the cooler, but I guess those fans are efficient enough to function from okay. I'll rotate one more time. It's heavy. Very heavy. Wow. We're reaching the weight capacity of this table here. There we go. Okay. So I'm going to plug in the USB. Oh, we're plugging the SATA port first. Let me make sure I got the right one. Okay. I don't see any difference between them, so I'm going to pick that one for good measure. Front panel audio. Front panel audio looks like it's at the bottom. Pretty easy. There we go. Wait a second, this is USB. Whoops, that would have been bad. No worries, no harm done. There we go, USB. Front panel. So I guess it has a USB 2. Oh. No, actually I think that's for the lights. It's gotta be for the lights. So the lights are USB controlled. Also have a USB controller for the cooler, which I hope I don't have to share. No, we got 2 of them, so we're good. Some other boards only have 1 USB 2, but you actually need more. So a lot of these internal components don't need a lot of bandwidth, so they end up using USB 2, like the water cooler. Perfect example of that. Now here's where we start running into cable management decisions. Whether I want to live with this cable in the front or run it through the back. So I'll decide right now that I don't want to see that cable again. And it's this cable that I hid through this part here. There, so I'm pulling it. Make sure it's not, there we go. And then run it underneath. To show you where I'm running it now. Trying to get it through that tiny opening there. There we go. Look at that. Perfect. So just enough cable for it to connect to where? There. Right there. Of course, my hand is in the way, but it's got to go there. So there we go. That's that. So I might be able to hide this cable a little better. Don't worry about that later. Power switch. I think is that the only thing this board needs? Is power switch. Yeah, that might be it. Okay. 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 Well, this is moving along. Fans. Keep forgetting. I keep stalling. I got the Corsair LL120 fans. These are, let me zoom out. These are RGB. They were asking earlier about RGB. Well, here they are in good fashion. Control this. Yeah, it's been a while since I've used these cameras, so this has been more of a training on the cameras and setting them up. Because I forgot. It's been like 9 months, 10 months, 12 months. All right, so Okay, so pretty nice fans. Didn't need to get the color, but I was looking for something quiet, and this kind of fit the quiet and efficient and sort of all the specs I was looking for, plus the RGB. So not necessary, but looks nice. Oh, and it comes with a controller. Look at that. Okay. Comes with a lot of things. All right, more than I expected. Okay, so this one comes with a RGB hub, and I guess that connects via USB again. Oh boy. Oh boy. So that's the first problem we have, is we're out of USB things. Now I wonder. Okay, so again, this is where keeping things separate. So this is the cooler stuff we did not end up using. So I'm going to put it away. I don't want to get confused. Let's see. Messages here. All right. So let's see. Yeah. So we gotta choose which. I guess I could get a USB hub inside and power it that way, but I really don't want to do that. I don't want to do that at all. So let's see if I can sacrifice something. And actually, all right. Let's see. There are ways around stuff. All right, let's see if I can. Let's see what I can do to get this thing going. All right, let me check exactly how many USB headers we have. I don't think we have enough for all these components. I was really hoping this would be RGB, just 12-bit addressable RGB. Not 12-bit, sorry. What's the word? Or just RGB, addressable RGB. But it looks like it's not. So we only have two USB 2 headers. And we have 3 USB devices. Okay. Okay. Do we have any other RGB LED connectors? Addressable second generation. So I don't even know what generation this is. I think this is just a proprietary. Proprietary. I can't say that word. Okay. Jumpers, nope. Onboard switches, nope. Okay, all right, so, okay. Okay. Really, all these need, wow, that's a lot of power. Sequential order. Huh. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Well, what I'll do, and I don't want to do it, but I don't have an option, I'm going to have to run a USB cable. Yeah. I I have to run our USB cable inside from the outside to power these guys. That is unfortunate. Can't think of any other solution but that. Oh well. So let's do intake. And these fans have on the side a little notch that shows you where the airflow is going. Just if you're ever doubt. Normally, whatever holds the motor in place, that's what's facing the airflow. That's kind of the rule of thumb. I've never seen the contrary to that, so I guess it's standard, but you never know. So assume that that's how it runs. Okay, so all right, so let's get comfortable here with this. Audio. Front audio. Let's see, where's this one? Of course, it's all the way over there. Let me run that cable real quick. So again, I'm going to try to run it and catch it here at the bottom. Trying to get it through that notch. There we go. We got front audio connected. All right, power switch. I'll check the board, the manual, just to make sure it goes in the right place, because those pins, they do change. They do change. Okay, so we're looking for, here we go, front panel. So speakers in the top, front panel, power button is in the middle. Okay. I believe, make sure we're in the right place. Please. There. Yep. Yeah, that's got to be it. Yeah. All right. So technically, we could start it up here in a few minutes. But I do want to get the cooler and the fans installed, so we'll have to wait on that a bit longer. USB 3 for the front is connected. I'm a little afraid of all these cables here. They're very close to where the fans are going to go. All right, let's do the first one on the top. It's going to go like that. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Okay. And I'm going to use the screws provided by the fans themselves. Yeah, the screwdriver's not going to work for this. These are actually, I have to make threads on the actual fan as I'm drilling in, so there's not enough leverage. Actually, yeah, I'll leave them there. Right, facing out. Yeah, that's that. All right, let's see. Actually, let me read a manual for a second. I'm wondering if the case has some kind of solution for the problem I'm currently thinking over. It's how to control so many USB devices with only two. I know the headers, I know one of them is not being used fully. So each header technically, I think, I might be wrong, has for two USB places. So let's see what this manual says. So I'm just going to read a bit. Okay. Yeah, USB cable. Let's see what. Yeah. Front bar. Interesting. Okay, so it looks like no, it does not. It does not. Okay. And also, it looks like there is a bracket for the actual graphics card. So that's a new thing. So that'll be interesting. Just gotta find out how to put it on there. But yeah, there's an anti-sag bracket that I guess replaces. Yeah, it replaces two pins. Very complicated. I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to put it. I don't think I'm going to put it. Yeah, I don't think so. I don't need that kind of. I would have to take apart a few of the motherboard screws for it. I don't think it's worth it. I think that the case can hold the card pretty well. It's a heavy card, that's for sure. So we'll see. We'll see. I do wish it was on the case instead of on the motherboard, but I guess, yeah, it's so hard to design things when there's so many companies coming together. That's why the standards are important. Okay, these threads are. Yeah, there we go. Much better. Almost need an electric drill. It's getting to that point. You got 12 of these screws? Yeah, should have grabbed the drill. But I don't want to make the stream too long. There's still 3 people left. Jeez, poor souls. Thank you for sticking by. Let's see, there we go. I'll just get it to BIOS. I think that's the goal for now, is getting it to BIOS, to boot, seeing that the RAM is checked, the hard drives are detected. And I think if we get there, that's a great stopping place, because I'll probably have to be back later on in the week to sort some things out here. Okay. Oh, look at that, backwards. So this is where all those cables that are in the front are kind of getting in the way. So just a lot of cables, just a lot of cables. Okay. I should need to stand up a little bit. I've been sitting now for a little long. I'm not used to sitting for this long anymore. I have a standing desk at home, so I just stand all day. There we go. Okay. All right. Again, the reason I think these are, you have to thread them as you install them, is for reducing vibration. So that's why they're very hard to set up. Yeah, there we go. So this would be the hardest because now we have a lot of cables to fight. Yeah, a lot of cables getting in the way. The USB-C from the front is plugged in. That's what that was. So let's get the last one. Scroll down, there we go. Oh, sorry. I think I was tapping the mic there. I made a clip. I'm sorry. Apologize. Hopefully it didn't hurt no one's ears. All right. Should have used a shotgun mic. Next time I'll set up a shotgun mic instead of a lavalier. I did a wired lavalier. Figured it'd be better for a one-man show, but I'm not monitoring the audio, so I'm trusting on my compressor and trusting on the equalizer that's hopefully getting a decent sound. Okay, there we go. Actually, I think I'll put the music up a little bit louder. Let's see if that works. Just a tiny bit. There we go. A little bit louder. And actually, I could probably go out and change the track real quick, just so that we have something different. Yeah. Yeah, I'll screw this in and I'll walk out, change some settings on the mixer, make sure everything's working fine. Be right back. So the next live stream will be on a different mixer. I'll be using the mini ATM right now. I'm using the 4K Atom, and that is monster for what I'm doing right now. Definitely overkill, but you know, that's what I had. So now I just received the ATM Mini, and we'll be testing those. We're gonna live stream on that. Should be fun. Okay, wow, that was hard. All right, so let me mute my mic and I'll hit. Okay, we're back. A little bit different song. Same beat, just a little bit longer. I realized I had you guys on an 18-second loop for the last hour. That's gotta drive you guys insane. So, yeah. Next time I'll find better music. It's kind of hard to find music for an hour or a playlist that YouTube won't flag as copyrighted. Otherwise, I'll be DJing. Okay, so let's do the cable management for the fans we just installed. That should be fun. So we put in 3 RGB fans. That means each fan has 2 cables, the fan cable, the fan power cable, and the RGB cable. So we now have to find a home for those. One of them goes on the motherboard and one of them goes to another component, which I'm currently still thinking about how to wire that guy. So I might go the easy route and just wire that guy through the through a USB external and then run the cable internally. I don't know. Not super fond of that idea, but it's the idea. Still working on it. Okay. All right, that's a lot of cables. 6 cables running back here. Trying to not cover any fans. All right, this thing keeps coming undone, so it's kind of scaring me a little bit. Kind of wondering if I should do something about it. Is the music too loud? Might be too loud. I'm just gonna lower it. Gonna lower from here just a little bit. My mic might be loud, actually. Check, check. I'll bring it down a bit. There we go. Just a bit. Okay, so here's where we are. There we go. Yeah, that song. These are some samples, or actually some from Premium Beat, so they're pretty good. They're not samples. We got them, so they're pretty good songs. Just might be a little loud. They're made for mixing. Okay, so I'll connect the fans now to the board. I gotta find a spot for them. And okay, trying to minimize exposure to the cable, so I'm gonna be all over the place, but from the front it'll seem very nice. From the back it'll be completely insane. Just how most computers are. At least the ones that are custom built. There we go. You gotta, there's so much slack in these cables, you know, they have to give you slack, otherwise you need it. I mean, eventually, sometimes you need it. But, okay. Okay. Good. Down to 1. And I think when I get to the BIOS part, I'll take down a camera and convert HDMI to SDI and output that through the mixer and see if we can get the BIOS in the mixer, the video mixer. That'd be kind of cool. The mixer is in a different room. It's about 20 feet from me, so it's a pretty long run for an HDMI cable. We have them, but rather, actually, yeah, I might just use an HDMI cable. Might complicate that. We'll see. We'll see how I'll handle that situation. Okay, so I'll start connecting these things. I really hated that they're not using standard RGB addressable stuff. Yeah, it's a shame. It's a real shame. The funny thing is, both of these need SATA power. That's even more connectors. I think I have just enough right now, but I'd really rather not do that. Okay, so for now, I'll just power it without USB. Yep, that's what I'm gonna do. We'll just have whatever default light color show set. That's what it's gonna be for now until I can get a internal USB in there. All right. Yeah, back here it is pretty crazy. It's not yet the final cable management. Yeah, it's definitely not. It's not final. It's a work in progress. As we speak, it's being built. So I can't tidy it up too much because I just had to undo whatever I just done earlier. I just had to undo it. So that's how these things go. How these things go. Let's see. Let's run the SATA. I mean, oh my gosh. Yeah. There we go. log into this laptop here and check. All right, we still got 4 people. At least, or 2 people. There we go. More like it. Thank you for staying this long. Again, this is just a test on our camera setup and streaming, so we're doing this more for testing than anything else. Okay, wow, now it's quite hard to get through. Oh, look at that, I lost my... Okay. Okay. Wow, that's a hard one. Okay. There we go. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Good choice on this big case because I cannot imagine putting all this stuff in a little case. It's just not physically possible. Okay, so we got the fans powered and your lights powered. Got the SATA drive powered and connected. We got the NVMe connected. We got the water cooler installed. We still need the RAM. And we need, let's do the RAM real quick actually. So since this will be a editing rig, I only got 2 sticks of 32 gigs each. So eventually this system could have 128 gigs of RAM upgrade. And once the stock of these things becomes normalized, that's when we'll upgrade, because right now things are too expensive and too hard to get. So A1 and C1. So I'm gonna find A1. Zoom in. Okay. A1 should be third one. Yes, it is. Wow, it has a nice metal latch in the middle. Okay, clicks. All right, and C1 also. Okay. Okay. All right. All set. Much better. Much better. Yeah. So 2 sticks of RAM, 68 gigs of RAM. Yeah, that's nice. All right. Okay, I think we're ready for. Wow, all this stuff. Let me clear up. We're ready for the graphics card, which is the big moment we've been building up for. Now, I have to be honest, I have already opened this graphics card. Couldn't wait, so I had to check it out. So I opened it, took it apart, not took it apart, but took it, I saw the components that are in it, just for reference. And yeah, looks great. It's huge. So I'm gonna just go ahead and slide it out. I'm just cutting on time here. I know there's probably better unboxing videos of this. So, but here it is, the big one, and it is big. Look at that. All right. So, oh look, it's got plastic on the front. Plastic on the side. A lot of plastic stickers. Okay. Yeah, this thing is huge. So technically, I didn't need to remove that third bracket. I kind of did, actually. I did. I don't know. I'm on the fence. Okay. The other one. There it is. There it is. I think this has been, this graphics card is iconic to 2020. I think it represents everything so far 2020 has had to offer. So it's so hard to find. It's a little expensive, but the specs are incredible. People line up for it, even in the pandemic, for this graphics card. So, oh, look at that. So I used the, must be getting tired. I used the case screws for it. They're technically the same thread, it's just a different finish. Rookie mistake. There we go. Okay, ooh, it looks like I won't have a lot of clearance. Look at that. Wow. This case might not work for this. Look at that. I don't know if I'm the first guy to encounter this problem, but this graphics card sticks out so much forward that I might not be able to put the glass. So we'll have to bend these cables a lot, which I don't like. Or I'll have to revert to a 2080 Ti. Yeah, this is already sticking way out. Yeah, that's gonna be a problem, for sure, for sure. So just so you see what I'm talking about, the glass that goes here is definitely gonna touch. I don't know if that's, I mean, a case this big, I cannot imagine that being a problem, but let's test it out real quick. Hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully I'm wrong. Oh, look at that. Nope. 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 Okay. So if we bend these down, which I don't like. It's only glass, right? What's the worst that can happen? Like forced glass. Wow. Wow. It's right up to the glass. I mean, it is crushing those cables. Not to the point of damaging it. It's just not nice to see that much, that little bit of clearance. Yeah, I really would have wanted more space there. In time, those cables will get comfortable there, but for now, they're putting a lot of pressure on the glass. So I guess keep that in mind. I don't even know if that's a measurement. I guess if you get the dimensions from the graphics card and the internal dimensions, and you sort of have to do the math about adding a motherboard and then adding your graphics card, doing that math, then you'll know how much length you have, but then you'll have to add the millimeters of thickness of the cable to clear for that. Yeah, that's a lot of, yeah, I don't know, because that pressure is also being applied to the motherboard, so everything's being sort of crunched in. I almost wish this was the metal part, because the metal will have more flex. Oh well, we'll see. She'll be all right. It'll be all right. All right, so I'm assembling it. As is obviously the cable management in the back is not done yet, but I'm assembling it just for the video all the way. I'm going to boot it to BIOS. Okay, let's see. Let's find the other glass. I'm still need to put the. Oh, and here's the logo Razer. There's nothing. There's nothing in this that's Razer except for that logo. It's kind of funny. They might have done something with the RGB maybe. So maybe we'll see when we turn it on. Maybe there's something fancy happening. But so far, Razer is the only the logo. Okay. We are almost there. I gotta go get a extension cord to power this thing up, and run it through the video mixer. So I'll be right back. Hold tight. We're almost done. I'm gonna mute my audio because I don't want to. Okay, we're back here. Going live in a few seconds. I had to go look for a power cable. Well, not a monitor actually. So I won't be able to run it through the mixer without running more cables. It's a little late. So you have to do with just watching it and trusting me that it is indeed live. Now I am running into an extension cord issue here. So I will have to go offline again in a few seconds to sort this out. Yep, there's no way around it. I'll be right back again. Now we're back. I think we're back. I believe so. Let's go back to the main camera. All right, so off camera, I was debugging the problem. Looks like one of the sticks of RAM we have might have an issue. It wasn't letting it post, so now I took it out, and I'm able to get it to BIOS. I couldn't get it through the mixer just because of the connection. I forgot that mixer can only take 1080p at 30 frames, and I don't think I could change the settings until I am in Windows, so I would have been stuck with a preset that I couldn't change. So I'm gonna go ahead and press F1 here to continue. There we go, we got BIOS up and running. So officially, technically done with the hardware part. Let me make sure here we got the RAM. Yep, 32 gigs of RAM. So the other 32 are sitting here. Like I said, very weird issue. I wasn't posting. Maybe there's something wrong with this stick. Maybe, I don't know. I'll reseat it on the other side and see if we can get it to work. But the processor is showing up, 28, 24 cores. So we're good. Well, thank you for sticking by. I'll install Windows at a later time. It's a little way later than I thought. It's been a 3-hour session, so it's a good run. It's a good run. I'll do some benchmarks tomorrow. I'll post those online on this same channel and see how this guy does rendering and encoding and all that good stuff. But for now, thank you for joining me. This has been Atlacat. It's been great to host you guys, and this has been a test both of the live stream system, the cameras, the lights, the sound, everything was being tested, as well as building the computer. So many challenges here. I think we did pretty well. Once again, thank you. Have a good night.